Hello and welcome to the start of a brand new series. In this series we're creating a jigsaw puzzle type game. What's special about this series is that you can get all the episodes of this series before they're released over on patreon.com/Ryan Laley. All my gold patrons will have access to the whole entire series from day one, as well as the project files that you see here in this video. So follow along over there if you want to get all the action straight away. Otherwise, catch me week by week releasing these videos. So to get started with our jigsaw game, we're going to start off by creating the material for our jigsaw pieces. So I'm going to bring in some new textures and go into a new folder here, and we'll call this puzzle images. And in here I'm going to import in my assets. Now I've put a link in the description where you can download my test asset that I've developed. Other than that, you can use any of the default ones I've provided or any other square base shaped puzzle images you wish. So I'm going to go ahead and import those in now. So here I've imported in my 4 images. I've got 3 images we'll use for the final thing, and I've also put in this tester. And it's this tester we're going to use to demonstrate how to build the material which controls the individual pieces. So we're going to go through and break this up into 16 different squares. So to do that, I'm going to right click on my puzzle test and create a material. And we'll call this one puzzle_M. And open it up. Now the first thing we need to do is change this so it's using the UI space. So click on the big brown box here, and we need to change it from using it from the default surface space and change it to UI. So go to material domain and click on surface and change it to user interface. And you'll get a much different box at the end here. We can then plug in RGB into final color, and you should see the window update here showcasing the different texture. So the power behind this is that we're actually going to change the UV coordinates that we want to use for this texture. So we're going to take everything we're going to do over here and plug it into UVs. Now what we need to do that is get the texture coordinate node first of all. And the coordinate node is what controls the UV tiling of the whole entire texture. So we're going to be manipulating the tiling for this for our material here. So first of all, we need to decide how many pieces we're going to have. So I'm going to go into here and make a new scalar parameter. And like so. I'm going to call this one number of pieces. And this number of pieces will have to be a square number. So it has to be either 4, 9, 16, so forth. Okay, it has to be a square number because it's a square shape, so you want it to be a square number. So with it being a square number, we have to take it. So imagine this is 16, okay? So we've got 16 pieces. I want to get the horizontal, how many they're going to be. So 16, the square root of 16 is 4. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And on vertically, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we put this a default value of 16, we're then going to square root this. If I type in square root, and that will get us the numbers we need. Next, we're going to take the texture coordinate and then divide it by that square root. So now, if I just plug this straight in to the UVs, you'll see that we've got just the top corner, which is excellent, but we need to be able to dynamically change what one we want. So we've broken up the material by its 16 pieces. Next we need to move it along and add a different coordinate to it. So we first of all need to divide this up into its 2 different coordinate spaces, U and V. So we're going to split this and break that out into 2 components. So now we've got R and G. And these refer to U and V, the horizontal and the vertical axes. So we need to slide this selection along based on the number of pieces we have, as well as what coordinate we want to use. So we need to take away our number of pieces, so let's use that and plug this up here. And again, we need to square root this. And then we need to multiply that by a value. Now the value is going to come from a vector parameter. So if you type in parameter, you will see the option for vector parameter. And this is going to be puzzle coordinate. So this variable will allow us to set which position we want the piece to be in. So now we're going to do what we did over here and divide the number. So take the red channel, because we're dealing with the red channel up here. Take the red channel and divide by the square root. And then we're going to add that onto this coordinate. So it moves it by a certain amount. So you're adding a value to it. And then we need to combine these back together. So to do that, use an append node. So do append vector. And now you can see you can connect multiple things together to get one output. So I'm going to plug that into UVs instead. And there you go. So if I go up to my puzzle coordinate here and change the default value in R by 1, we should see it move and slide along. There you go. We're on to part 2 now. So we have to do exactly the same for the G value. So I'm just going to copy this and paste this down here. And instead of using the R channel, we're going to use the green channel. And we're going to then do the exact same. We're going to add that together with the G channel and apply that to the append there. Hit apply. And we've now got this one going to 1 and this one going to 1. Oh, sorry, not this one. We have to change this to 0 and then put 1 in the green because that's the channel we're using. So now this will move down in the texture to a different value, 5. And so that's it. So now we've got a texture coordinate going into here, and we're dividing it up into individual pieces by a certain amount. And then we're taking that out into 2 separate coordinates. And we're shifting those coordinates along using the add node. And the amount we're shifting is based on the coordinate input that we put in here and the number of pieces we have. And that is now put together and we output the final result. Like so. So we're going to hit save, and that brings us to the end of that. Thank you very much for watching this first episode. If you want to watch the next episode, you can either become a Patreon and watch the next episode on Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching this on Patreon and you want to see the whole series, become a gold patron and you get this whole series straight away, as well as the project files as well. Thanks again to all my supporters for their support, and it really does mean everything, so thank you again so much. And if you're watching this and you don't happen to be subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit a little bell as well to be notified for when I upload all my new videos. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye everyone.